What's up, people? It's another day, another wonderful time in Dragon World. The dragons. Um, so we're doing today. It's Magic Koopa, and we're doing more solo quest of Dragon Quest. This is the start of 2.2. We love it. We love it. Version 2 is a wonderful version. I promise you. I assure you, it's gonna get good. No worries. It's already good, right? It's already good. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, totally. We gotta dilute ourselves a little bit here. So, anyways, what we have today, version 2.2 starts with a bunch of seemingly random quests. Seemingly, they connect. Yeah, they connect somehow. But we're just gonna be knocking these out, probably like you know, 2 videos per quest or so. While I just chill out, read some stuff to you here. For this one today, what we're doing is 334. This is gonna be quest 334 with the true period. True period. Yes. Only true women get true periods. I'm very problematic, as you can clearly tell. Everyone who doesn't want to hear an anti-Semitic black guy rant about video games, please leave. Please leave. Anyways, um, what we're doing is the pyramid in this one. It's the false pyramid. We already did that weekly. The true pyramid is actually just a dungeon, and it's not too hard. This is also another roadblock for people. I've heard just from talking around the Discord. A lot of people get stuck on this dungeon because it is a little confusing. I will give you the secret here before I ramble on into nothingness. Basically, you just have to follow the sparkly bits. It's not too crazy, but I can understand how you get lost. It is very big, I will admit, because we're gonna be doing this. How long is this video? This is about 45 minutes. So it is pretty big. Or is it 15? No, wait, no, wait, no, wait. It's like 15 minutes. I definitely read that backwards. Anyways, what we're doing here. So you're gonna have some chats. I think I want to talk about aura and energy, because with my huge long-term goals I'm driving towards here, greatest entertainer of all time, I feel like the aura is a vital part. You know what I'm saying? A vital part to the full package. If not the most part. Most part. Yes, exactly. The most important part. Sometimes we forget words. You honestly don't need all the words. Let's be real. You could get past sentences, and as a matter of fact, we did get through most sentences with just verbs and nouns. So English is dumb. All this other bullshit in between, like why? You don't need it. You don't. You're stupid, retarded, dumb language. It contradicts each other. But so are we as humans and Americans. Dumb people with contradictions. You know. What is about language that just so congruently matches art? It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But the aura is very important, not just for artists, of course, for most, general occupations, I feel like if I didn't start grinding aura at a very early stage, I might have, well, I mean, I definitely have a different experience in most of my jobs, but I might have it a little bit harder, you know what I'm saying? If I didn't have just a really powerful, frame that people can easily attach to, I mean, it might be easier, but grinding aura early on will get you a lot of positive feedback from your external world, because basically the mind forgets words, actual statements, like the actual production that I'm doing with this podcast. You forget the whole thing, but what the mind remembers is the posture, the energy, the silence, but mostly the vibe. I'm not going to apologize for the lag every episode. This episode, you're just going to get me rambling on. I'm not even going to talk about the lag, except for that time when I talked about the lag. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna live with it. We're just gonna live with it. We are in it, essentially. We're in it. But yeah, the world doesn't listen to you; it just reads your essence. So essentially, if you grind aura first, you don't have to worry about talking to people, which is good for me because I really don't like doing that. I don't. Especially because it seems I seem a very misogynistic conversationalist because I generally tend to only talk to girls because it's easier to get really explorative and open minded with them. When you talk to a guy or anyone who's not interested in you, it gets very tactile and surface level. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to any deep places. It's very boring. So and then on top of that, you know, we all know how American women are. They're very entitled. Um, very hard to challenge the minds. You know what I'm saying? That they're very infantilized nowadays. So if you say anything, generally to put anyone in a negative mood at all, or make them think a little bit, people will go crazy. So even then, I get just kind of frustrated talking to anyone in general, which is good because with a nice aura, a nice vibe, a nice smile here and there, and a good tone, um, you can kind of convince anyone that you're the best person in the world with not a lot of effort, um, vocally, which is nice for me because small talk really hurts me to a tragic level. I have to constantly go back to a bunch of my canned phrases. And my goal in retail is to just get people out of the store, out of the building, out of my face as fast as possible. So I clearly, and a lot of people see it, I clearly do not, take my time on the effort there. But that's any job, efficiency is over everything for me, which is quite annoying because in my later years now I realize I'm just making a bunch of money for one person who really doesn't deserve it just because they had the idea that, oh yeah, so like I'm one of those merit-based guys that thinks, the person who does the most effort, the most blunt of the work gets the dollar. But even that system really doesn't work. As we've seen in some, storage like packing facilities like Amazon and stuff. It kind of incentivizes crazy work practices and shit like that. It's kind of like the whole gotcha system should work. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they're just free cosmetics. It doesn't matter. But if you make the system inherently toxic, then it's gonna read toxicity. I don't know what to tell you. Like, duh. We designed this to steal your money. So guess what it does? It steals your money. We designed this to overwork you. So guess what it does? It overworks you. Like it's just what it is. Um, but I do think your general efficiency in life is your aura. That's like your work productivity. Because if you think about it this way, what you do by producing a good aura around you is you make everyone else's vibe good, which brings their work productivity up. Well, in theory, it should bring their work productivity up. Um, or at least enhance their mood so that the rest of their, just lives in general have a better positive standing. And that's how I feel like karma actually interacts with us. It actually interacts with us by basically showing us the mood that we've given to everyone else and pushing it back onto us. Um, so what happens when you control your rhythm? You're not slow, but you're just like deliberate, and then you have your own general sense of space and frame. It changes people around you. They sort of morph to your general positive, ambitious, whatever kind of aura it is, which is why it seems like a lot of dumb people, a lot of people who doing horrible things, are rising to the top, or the cream of the crop, because the karma is not interacting with their actual actions. Um, it's interacting with the vibe they provide, and more importantly than the vibe they provide, but the safety and the comfort that they provide to other people. That's coming back to them. That's what's going to come back to you. But if you are the most well-meaning, the most heartful, the most sensitive, highly sensitive person, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I love everyone. But your vibe is like anxiety, insecurity, you don't know if you're doing things right, you're constantly asking, people are always worried that you're okay, you're crying here, there. The karma's gonna give back to you what you're giving to other people, and what no matter what you may intend to give, um Yeah, if people get distressed, you're gonna get distressed back. But more than that, insecurities are often translated as danger. Just primally as human beings, right? And then dangers are translated as burdens. Like we don't want danger in here because that's something that can potentially hurt us. Monetarily, physically, emotionally, whatever, that kind of danger. And then the burdens are weighing heavy on us. So what do the burdens do? The burdens get discarded. So this is why insecure people really don't have a place in the world, like at all. And it's very sad because I feel like to a certain extent we are all very insecure, and it is extremely easy to be insecure. Um, it's very relatable to be insecure. I don't think it's something we're born with though. Something we're born with is like creativity and freedom. We are so washed in this media. We're baked into it. We are cooked mentally just because of what we're constantly shown. And I don't mean to be like, that's that damn phone again. Every fucking preachy YouTube video goes to that. But I really do just feel if we touch some damn grass every now and then, get a little bit of walking. I feel like everybody is so busy nowadays. They're like, I can't go outside. I'm doing 8,000 things a day. Okay, yeah, you're right. So take an hour outside instead. Instead of 30 minutes, you need way more time outside because you're doing 8,000 things on your phone. So totally. No, it just doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. I feel like time is our greatest weapon, and a lot of people turn it towards themselves and just start killing themselves, time-wise. I had this fear before I started doing a bunch of content creation, before I, really dedicated myself on the path of being the greatest entertainer in the world. But, I mean, like, you're always kind of walking that path, no matter what. In my eyes, if it's something that's made for you, it's made for you. So, uh, before I, though, generally started to cement it in my brain that that is where I was going, I had this fear that music or entertainment or all this media, whatever. I had a fear that if I did it too much, because I did like doing it, that it would just become a job and I would hate it eventually and blah 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 and all this stuff. So I was freaking out. I decided, yeah, I'm just gonna take a break. I'm just gonna stop, and maybe I'll come back, maybe I won't. But I'm not gonna give myself a time limit. I'm gonna be free to do what I actually want to do. But I'm just gonna grind skills. I'm gonna get my aura up and I'm gonna figure out life and see if this is just something I defaulted to because I'm good at it and I like doing it a little bit. And yeah, what happened was I took a good couple years off, good maybe like 2, 3, almost 3, and yeah, the drive to come back to it. I was always listening to music. I was always jotting down little album names and shit. It's just what I wanted to do. I don't think it's ever gonna become work like that. It's just you see so much disgusting things online and so much media that leads us to believe that life, like, oh, I can't do that. All these horrible people are up there with their auras, and you have to be horrible like that to get on top, right? You don't. You don't. Honestly, that level of success is that we normally see and we're normally turned to is not something that most people will achieve, not something most people need to achieve, and not something that you need to be gunning for to be comfortable. So we're looking for, Of course, I'm hungry for power, but that's mostly a personal pursuit. I don't care about being better than anyone. I don't care about reaching anyone. I don't really idolize anyone anymore, especially with, you know, what's happened with a lot of my heroes. I'm just gonna mention Kanye because I feel like mentioning Kanye. Very sad about just everything about him in general. So the thing though about that is they're all just humans, just like me, just like you. They made it up there and they'll fall. But the reason why he's still up is because it took him so long to get up there. So I really, really hope I keep having one view, who is me, for at least like another 2, 3 years, you know? And maybe we'll go to like 50 for the next 5. Because I value this time, this grind of just learning myself, because that's what it's really for. I'm not making music videos with anyone. I'm not collabing with anyone, not because I inherently hate people. It's because I've spent too much time idolizing the external, not realizing that this huge, expansive world inside my mind has so much more to find. And the cool thing about me is that once you start creating content like this, in my perspective, I feel like this act of like is making it physical and bringing my external expression into the ethereal world. So it's not really like I'm getting rid of everyone. I'm just, not hanging out and just grinding the skill. But guys, your aura will make or break you on this path. Remember who you are, what you do it for. I'm gonna leave you on this one point. The point is to find the exact point between presence and naturalness. Okay, we gotta remember being seen is not the same as drawing attention. Drive to be seen. Drive to breathe your own air. Most people detect a vibe within 7 seconds. You got a decision plan. You can't be in competition with anybody. You just gotta sit into it. So I sit into this. We subscribe. We'll catch you next time.